In biotech, progress rarely travels in a straight line. 2025 certainly tested us, and it also clarified our development plan. Inside the company, our conviction hardened, and outside, the market conditions in biotech have improved. Here's what the data had to say. 1 is that nimacimab is safe. 2, it's peripherally restricted. And 3, that it adds to GLP-1 drugs with better body composition than GLP-1 alone. So yeah, 2025 was certainly an interesting year and headlines were made over the year, but our work this year has been critical. We learned exactly the biology of nimacimab and how that's going to fit into the overall obesity market. We also saw why the monotherapy arm missed its endpoint. The exposure at 200 milligrams was too low, and higher exposure tracks with greater weight loss. Preclinical dose response and PK modeling point to a step up in the efficacy at higher human doses, with a safety margin that's supported by 2 different tox studies and now 2 different clinical studies. So in short, our biology continues to be intact and we are moving into a higher dose, and that's going to be our lever going forward. Ultimately, higher human doses should unlock efficacy without breaching the safety headroom that we have for nimacimab. That's a key part of our roadmap to support our product profile for combination development and evaluate if monotherapy has a path to approval if it meets our product profile. So we're done wondering, which is where we started when we were defining the proof of concept study. And in early 2026, we'll answer 3 questions decisively. 1 is, what's the exposure to efficacy slope at higher levels? 2 is, how does tissue distribution reconcile the PK that we see? And 3, what does long-term clinical use look like on weight, body composition, and safety in the 52-week extension that we have ongoing? Enrollment is complete, the readout is very near, so we end 2025 clear-eyed and well-positioned with a complementary, non-incretin mechanism that augments GLP-1 drugs, and we're relying on our clean safety moat and a practical path to patient-friendly dosing. This includes evaluating monthly administration at higher dosing strategies. So 2026 is really this next phase of our execution. Now I'll briefly discuss our 2025 achievements. We delivered phase 2A 26-week top-line data which showed additive benefit to semaglutide. Our nimacimab and semaglutide combo achieved approximately 13% placebo-adjusted weight loss versus 10%. And we also showed reduced lean mass loss versus semaglutide alone. This was in addition to a very clean combination-ready kind of safety profile where we showed no neuropsychiatric signals, no additive GI burden when added to semaglutide, and the safety is similar to or lower than placebo on key adverse events. We also explained the monotherapy miss and de-risked the path forward, where exposure at 200 milligrams was below the target and higher exposure correlates with more weight loss. This has been supported by our preclinical DIOs dose response and the PK modeling that really supports stepping up into that range of approximately 600 to 1,000 milligrams. Also well supported based on our NHP tox studies, which support these safety margins. We completed enrollment in the 26-week extension. This is now going to 52 weeks, and we're going to continue to assess the durability of the response. So far, we've reported positive weight regain data, and a longer-term safety readout is expected in Q1 2026 as well. We're also continuing to advance our CMC and our dosing innovation. So what that means is that our higher dose strategy is underway using the current subcutaneous formulation, and in parallel, we're advancing higher concentration formulations to reduce the injection volume. And this is all keeping in mind a really streamlined CMC bridge that preserves that at-home administration as well as the para-line costs, so the cost of goods side of the equation. And all the while, we've continued to reinforce the mechanism and the positioning. So as a reminder, nimacimab is a peripherally restricted, non-incretin CB1 antibody. It's designed to avoid the CNS and acts independently of GLP-1. It's really well suited to being an add-on with incretins to really serve that broader market. And that includes non-responders. It also includes in patients that are intolerant to incretins as well. So just to wrap it up, 2026, we're validating durability and longer-term safety. the higher exposure dosing, and deepening our understanding of tissue distribution and PK. We'll also finalize a patient-ready path to higher dosing. This is what we refer to as the execution. It's really eliminating all the noise and remaining focused. We're exactly where we need to be to make an impact with nimacimab. It's a complementary, non-incretin mechanism with a very clear and clean safety moat and a line of sight to higher efficacy. We believe this will be a product for obesity, and that's critical to address the overall heterogeneity for patients and ultimately recognize that we need to have additional mechanisms beyond the incretin drugs for a more supportive and comprehensive weight management plan for patients. 2025 gave us that clarity, and 2026 we're focused on delivering these additional answers. So we may have taken some hits this year and still haven't cleared the cloud that looms over the CB1 pathway. And we also took on the one hill that really matters, moving this class forward with better tolerability, a real combination benefit, a clean neuropsychiatric profile, and that clarity is our launchpad to really realize this blue sky for this class. And that's where this leaves us right now. We can push to higher dose, we can combine with incretins without adding to the GI burden, and we can aim for better durability, meaning less weight regain. That's the ground that really is the foundation we're going on into 2026.